Wow, here we are again. It's Tuesday. They do seem to go faster. Maybe that's because we've had a couple of bank holidays. Hope everyone's been having a great week. The weather's getting better, which is fantastic. So yeah, I hope everyone is good. I'm here to talk about the Automechankia 6th to 9th of June 2023. Hopefully we can meet up. I think we've been arcing on about this for some time now, and the aim is to try and get us in a room where we can shut the door. I don't care how many, but we can at least be passionate and talk about the industry. Any pitfalls we think we may have. It'll just be great to put faces together, people together. A very casual thing, but just start some chats, which I think would be a fantastic thing to do. We've been offered a room at the Automechankia to do that. So, we can make a time as long as we can get a handful of people that would like to meet up and talk about the industry. I know I would. So, yeah, I'll put a poll after this and let's see where we can go with it. But right now, luckily, I managed to have someone who has been to last year's show and he's quite involved with this year's show. I'm led to believe last year's show was probably a bit smaller, but this year's is going to be pretty big. So let's bring in the Specky Painter and let's talk about Automechankia. First of all, let me ask some questions. I've seen the logo flying around on LinkedIn. Who is the Specky Painter?
Hi everyone. Specky Painter is sort of my pseudonym, I guess you could say. Right. Mainly comes from Instagram. Is the main reason the Specky Painter sort of got a name. Sort of calling yourself Craig on Instagram don't really do anything these days, does it? So
you're right, I like it.
We had to do something. Part of the reason as well is my boss is called Craig as well. Right. So I often like people saying it's Specky you're dealing with. It right. Sort of works well.
And is that because of the specs, or is it because you do bad paint work with loads of specs in?
Yeah, it's because I need glasses, and yeah, I should probably get stronger ones for when I do paint.
Fabulous. Right, tell me a little bit about yourself. Of course, I realise you are a painter, of course, and you are now working for, is it Welcome?
Yes, that's correct.
So they are a paint brand, are they, or are they?
They're a spray gun and equipment manufacturer, so right. Italian company, and I work for basically their UK arm. So I'm their technical sales and support engineer. So any sales, any issues, any customer support, good, the bad, and the ugly, I take care of it all really. Right. For the UK and Ireland.
Okay, and how's it doing in the UK? Is it? It's not something I've heard of, if I'm honest. So. Is it a new brand? Is it something who's it comparable to?
Yeah, 78-year-old brand. But as far as the UK market are concerned, it's a very new to the market brand. Sort of 20 months in now as a UK company. So very much in its infancy. I think a lot of customers have came across a lot of the products for quite some years. Right. But it's just never been so readily available for them.
Got you.
Which, as we know in our industry, is key to everything. It's paramount. Is it easy to get hold of? Is it easy to get fixed if anything ever did happen to it? Yeah. What's the company actually like? What's its ethos and so on? So, yeah, real good opportunity for me personally to start with a company that it's a spray gun manufacturer at its core, and I'm a painter, so it goes hand in hand. Competes with the best of them.
Just going to say, so you've obviously tested the products and liked them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have joined the company. So, wow.
Yes, and that's how I actually got invited to become part of Welcome. I was using some of their guns and equipment, and along with a couple of other repairers, got offered a trip to Italy. And they said, "Do you want to come to Italy?" And I said, "I'd love to." So we spent a couple of days in Italy doing a bit of painting, and then a few conversations later, and I now wear the Welcome hat 9 to 5.
Fantastic. So how does it bear up for us as in pricing wise? Is it, we've got the Sartas, the Velbys. Where does Welcome sit with quality and You know, where is it aiming for? Is it a cheaper brand, a quality brand, or in the middle? Where does it kind of sit for us guys as repairers? You know, why would we change our brand?
I often say to customers and to end users, especially when I'm introducing the product, it is a premium brand.
Yep.
It makes premium equipment. What I've found in spray gun market at the moment is whether it's Hiawatha, Segola, Sartor, DeVilbiss, Walcom, we all sit fairly close to each other in pricing. You know, excuse me. Entry level guns are entry level prices, working the way right through to top end, high end guns. Walcom do stuff a little bit different. We offer in the UK service swaps, so setup swaps. So it just gives the end user that ability to be able to go, I've tried a gun on a demonstration, or I've just took a sort of punt on a setup because I believe that's what I'm currently using. And as most painters will tell you, there's a lot of personal preference when it comes to a gun. And I think that's sort of what sways people towards, towards Valcom in general, is purely the ability to swap setups, the ability to work with the company to make sure that it's right for them, and to try sort of before you buy as well. Where my role is pretty much 9 to 5, Monday to Fridays, traveling all over the UK, popping guns in people's hands.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and then I'm still a painter. I paint more for the passion and the hobby of it now than I do for my main sort of source of income. But paintings it sounds real corny, but it is a way of life for me. It's what I've always done. It's what I started doing. I think we'd almost class it as being a multi-skilled technician these days. I think most of us are. But painting's at its forefront. That's where I am. That's I'm at my happiest in a booth with a gun in my hand.
So you've used all brands. You've pretty much tested them all, have you? Is that? And you're sitting. Is Welcome coming out to sort of try and take over or take a bigger part of the UK? Is that their aim to do so? Are they?
I'd probably say more just about brand awareness at the minute.
Right.
The company, as far as globally, no, we compete with the best. We genuinely do. The products and equipment are right up there. I think in the UK, it's a little bit still unknown. So we're just going, do you know what? We'll knock on a lot of doors. We'll let a lot of people know. And I think for us, what's worked quite well is the social media aspect of it.
Of course.
We understand a modern painter and a modern repair shop tends to actually have an Instagram account, have a Facebook account, using the social media. It's, this Generation X that coming through now that are the painters of the future. They are on all platforms. And we just sort of embrace that and go, do you know what? Let's work with that. Let's roll with it.
Well, normally a new product comes in. Price is a big thing normally to get someone to change from a brand. Are they not? They don't really want to. Are they going to come in and then come in slightly cheaper to get the brand out there, or is that not the plan? Is that not? No. Wow. Quality then.
Yes. There is no. We don't make. We will not list anything as budget. Entry level. I think would be a more better. But as far as price wise, you won't see any ridiculous sales. You won't see any ridiculous offers. To the point where we've got a distributor network that we currently deal with, and the only place to buy online is through Walcom's own website.
Wow.
We don't want to flood the market. We want to control the market as far as Walcom products go, and actually say, do you know what? If you're buying one of the products, there is its worth. You're not going to be able to shop around and find it £5 cheaper from someone you don't normally deal with, and then maybe lose that aftercare and that customer service. And that's real important to us. We're a family-run company as far as the Italian side of things.
Brilliant.
And we are the arm of it in the UK. So we just want to make sure that people understand that once you buy a Walcom product, you're part of the Walcom family. And
well, as it happens, I need a couple. I actually, funny enough, just this week, one of my lads, he's had some guns for a long, long time, and he said, "Can I have some new guns? I need a painting gun, a primer gun, a lacquer gun. I like to have separate them rather than use one gun nowadays." But so it may be something for us to talk about. We're in the market for, as I say, for some guns. That's definite. I've just been asked today, so and he said he's desperate, which they always do. So maybe a try before you buy. I don't know, maybe a demo, but we are definitely, and that's not just, we are actually looking for some guns. So interesting.
There's never been a better opportunity to look at new guns. And I will go to say that's not just from Welcome UK either. That is from all manufacturers. I mean, Automechankia's 3 week away now. You'll see Welcome, SATA, DeVilby, Firewater, you name it, it's Sagola. They're all going to be there.
Of course.
So it's a perfect time to actually bring the painter along to the show and say, let's actually speak to these companies, see what's on offer, see what's available, book some demonstrations in, and let the painter choose. Let the talking happen in the booth, really, more than anything.
Yeah, like it. That's a bit of confidence.
I often say, I don't think Welcome guns are better than another brand of gun.
Yep.
Equally, don't think other brands are better than a Welcome gun.
Right.
The right gun in the right painter's hands is priceless.
Of course, yeah, I agree.
The right gun in the wrong painter's hands is awful. and vice versa as well, and there is so much option and so much choice out there. Some painters and some products work exceptional with some guns and some not so much. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for it as far as, I often, again, I keep saying often say, but I genuinely do. I don't think there's a best product out there, not through paint, not through masking, not through equipment. Because if they were, we're not idiots in this game. We've all done it quite a long time.
It's just a lot of different brands, isn't it? All the paints, they're all much
we'd
of them.
all use the same product.
Of course,
we genuinely would, and that goes for everything from the wet goods to the dry goods to the equipment. We'd all use one thing the exact same.
Yeah. So what does because obviously for us, you got do you supply kits with your guns? I know sometimes the kits go. What's the quality of the item? Because I suppose once you're spending money, if there's not a lot of difference in the price, then we come down to quality can sort of be a bit of a difference for us. We don't want to spend lots of money on kits and repairing them and having them go wrong. So we're like anything, as long as they're well looked after, I suppose. Are we, what do you?
Yes. So it's all about making industry standard quality equipment. So you'll always see stainless steel fluid tips, stainless steel needles, threads and fittings, anodized air caps, and so on. The core of the guns are aluminium or magnesium, depending on the model. Yep. Some of the guns are overcoated with carbon Kevlar and carbon fiber.
Yeah.
As far as what does a carbon fiber gun last like, as versus an aluminium gun?
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Look after your equipment, and the equipment will be there for you when you need it, as you need it.
Yeah.
Mistreat it just like anything else.
Good housekeeping.
Yes. And a lot of people wonder about the thinners and gun wash machines with carbon fiber guns. We manufacture gun washers. We understand that the guns are in a spraying environment. They need to do the general, day-to-day living of a spray gun.
Of course.
Guns come as kits as well with Welcome, so you'll get pot, service kit, spanner, regulator, whether it's digital or analog, depending on the model. You get a full kit, because again, we can't sell you a precision piece of kit and equipment and say, set it up roughly at 2 bar. We'll provide you a regulator of good quality to be able to say, no, set it at 2 bar. There's your regulator. There's everything you possibly need to use that gun.
Brilliant.
And then, it's just about making sure the right product with the right material, the right setting. I'm always there as well I'm not saying I'm some sort of be all and end all, but just having another set of eyes, especially when, they've got an extra set attached to them as well. Sometimes can make the difference, If someone's not getting on with a product or gun, me just popping along and spending, an afternoon or whatever can sometimes change stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Obviously, this is all about Automechankia. The last year's show, I believe, I never went, of course, but I've heard a lot about it now, and I believe it was a bit smaller of a show. But then, obviously, we're coming out of COVID. All the shows are starting back up again. I wouldn't imagine anyone to come out, last couple of years trying to put on a great big show when we're just coming out of COVID. So people are saying that this is going to be a lot bigger because Automechankia was quite a bit. I heard last year a lot for the mechanics, and it had a small section for the paint and body. I'm led to believe that that's much, much bigger this year. So very interesting I'm trying to get repairers across, of course, because I want to try and meet with some of them. I'm being told that it's a lot bigger show for that. So there's a lot more exhibitors. And it's only in Birmingham, which makes it perfect for repairers to pop along and find out about new equipments, etc. I'll be there. I'll definitely be looking out for the guns because, interestingly, we need some. So all good. But what else? Tell me more about last year as opposed to this year, and then tell me what we're going to see. Why should we go?
So I think, first of all, if you've been to an Automechankia Birmingham before, rule out what you've seen before.
Right.
There is going to be a big change in sort of format, I think, this year.
Right.
Just purely on live demonstration arenas. So you've got live demonstration areas, you've got whether that be for the EV side of things and the technology that's involved with that.
Wow.
You've got apprentice training centres. You've got Garage of the Future. You've also got one that I'm really passionate about, which is Paint and Spray Live. You'll get to see, people like me putting runs in panels they do on a daily basis. I have got no doubt in my mind that I probably will run a panel live in front of thousands of people. But that paint and spray area for me is massive, purely for the fact that it's okay coming and looking at someone's stand and saying, oh yes, that's a pretty piece of equipment. I'd like to see that in action. Come and see it in action. Come and see exactly that. Come and see us painting live, demonstrating live, whether that's, glue pulling, filling, UV technology, spraying, priming, whatever the case may be. Brilliant. You'll be able to see it at Automechankia Birmingham, which I think on a different level to what we're used to seeing as well. Yeah. And I think that for me is massive.
Brilliant. And I'm interested in the glue guns as well. So I'm interested in what's there. And I thought it's time to sort of, if it's going to be a great show, I don't want people put off from people saying last year it was a bit small, but I'm told it's kind of 10 times the size this year. And they've put a lot of effort into making it a great show, not just for the mechanics, but for the body side as well. So it sounds like it's going to be a really good event, to be honest.
I think for a few people that attended the Garage and Body Shop event last year, it was a trial almost. I shouldn't say that, but from my opinion, it seemed like a trial of the market. Is live events really where we need to be? Post-COVID, and it sounds daft talking still about post-COVID, but we are still there.
Yeah, we are,
and it sort of is face-to-face working. Is it worth companies, and let's not beat around the bush, spending tens of thousands of pounds to have a stand and to demonstrate and to show you what's on offer? Is it worth their time, their money, and their effort? And I think straight away it highlighted that it was.
Yeah.
Live events have come back across the world, strong. If not stronger than ever, as strong as they were pre-COVID, which is a massive achievement in itself. But I think also it just highlighted the fact that technology has moved on so fast, so quick.
And it's going to continue, isn't it, for the next 5-10 years? I think I keep saying I don't think we'll recognise this industry in the next 5 years and then the next 10 years. So people need to keep up. Over the years, I've been here for 35 years. I've tended to sort of, the technology was quite slow, really. Paint was paint. The biggest thing we had was water, going from cellulose to 2-packs to water-based. That was probably the biggest change for me in most of it. But apart from that, I didn't really think there was masses of changes. But now, with the, like you say, the computers, the programming, the ADAS, you name it, the glue pulling. I'm interested in finding out about this glue pulling myself as well. Not something that we've really used up to now, but it's looking, what we're seeing on screen on social media looks great. So like you've just said, I want to see it live. I want to go and see. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just think, we need to now more than ever keep up with what's going to be happening in the next 5 to 10 years. So this, I think it's, I hope it does really well. I think they put the effort in, by the sound of it, to make it a lot bigger. So I think, it's interesting, and I think live is fantastic, especially for us to come and see what's going on.
I mean, purely on a product launch side of things. I mean, I was on social media a little bit yesterday. I've done a lot of traveling over the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I was just looking at the clips from someone like, say, Indasa, not to name brands and sort of push people towards, but they announced they've got 3 brand new products getting launched there.
Wow, brilliant.
And they're not the only company. There's company after company after company putting posts on daily saying, we've got a new product, we're going to launch it at this show. And they're choosing this show because it's probably bigger and stronger than it ever is going to be.
Brilliant.
From previous years. Now, I hope that it's just a stepping stone and it's going to get stronger year upon year upon year.
Of course, yeah.
But it's certainly going to be the strongest one that it has been for certain, so far. And to me, that's just massive. I always hear quite often in body shops, I haven't got time to attend a show. I haven't got time to attend an event. But they have got time to still do paper invoicing.
They need to make time, don't they?
It's a case of the time you spend, even if it's 2 or 3 hours, even if it's the afternoon on one of the days. If you don't come away with with new technology or time-saving equipment or new processors, you've walked around with your eyes closed, to be brutally honest. And I'm that confident in that. I think there is something from every side of our industry that can be taken away from it. And that goes from the guys that do MOTs and servicing, right through to the guys that do restorations or smart repairs or collision repair.
So there's going to be a lot.
So much. And then we've got paint championships back there as well this year.
Wow.
So paint championships, a lot.
Is that the audience joining in, or is that properly staged? Or
So what's happened is people were invited to produce a bonnet, so a painted bonnet to a theme, and then pre-judging commenced, and then there'll be some judging live, and people will be awarded first, second, third prize.
Brilliant.
Or their best bonnet. Just again, that talent from it didn't matter whether you were an apprentice, whether you were a master technician at the world's largest company. If you wanted to enter and you wanted to get creative with a bonnet, you could showcase your talent and your skills.
Brilliant.
And again, for me as a painter, that's great. Like just to be able to see people's efforts, people's time, and let's face it, they were allowed 50 hours on these bonnets, these technicians. So if they've dedicated 50 hours worth of work into these,
should make some good stuff,
Yeah, but it just shows the commitment and the level of people saying, you know what? I want to be involved in this. So it's a crazy time. I mean, when I look at Automechanika in general, I list the stuff that I've got going on, and I just think, I don't know how I'm going to fit that into 3 days, but apparently I'm gonna. So we will.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I've spoken to a few people now that are exhibiting, and like yourself are there. Sounds like it's pumped up to what last year was. We need to support that, and I think we should anyway, because I love learning about new technology. And I think at the moment, the way the economy is and our industry is, we all need time-saving stuff, anything to make ourselves better. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably even bring a camera around with me this time and have a little zip around, so it might help other people to see on the evening that you know what's there, so they should go. But again, I'm also trying to make a get together for repairers. We've been trying to do this for some time. We've never actually got round to it with what happened you know, last year with my brother. So I'm hoping we can generate enough interest with repairers, independents as well, to come together and just, I'd like to say, yes, we'll have that room and we can just have a coffee, shut the door, and just go through a little bit of agenda and sort of a little catch up, get to know each other. So I think it's going to, you know, for me, it could be a great event. I hope it is. I really do. I hope it's a success. As I say, for me, we as repairers need to keep up with technology right at the moment. If there's anything that can save us time and money, we need to know about it. We don't want to be last to know about it. We don't want to find out about it in 2 to 3 years' time. We want it to save us money right now. So that's what I'm really excited about it, to be fair, to learn what's going on, because I keep saying the industry is going to change so much. It's time to really keep an eye, keep abreast of what is happening. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. So yeah, fantastic. Obviously, thanks for coming on and telling us about the show.
I'm just going to do a quick shameless plug, if that's all right.
Of course you can, mate. Carry on.
So Stand X130, Automechanika Birmingham, you'll be able to see some Specky Painter products. You'll be able to get hands-on with them. I'm not going to be on that stand. I'm going to be on the Welcome stand because I'm an employee of Welcome. So you'll find me on the Welcome stand. You'll find Mrs. Specky Painter on the Welcome on the Specky Painter stand. So there'll be a little bit of competition on there. There's going to be a bit of a few bits to give away and stuff. And all I'm asking is you come round, take a photo, tag us in it. That's it. It's as easy as that.
Brilliant. And what is the Specky Painter products? You obviously got a product there again. So
yes. And again, just so happens to have one there. So TSP protective airline sleeving. So booth quality airlines are really expensive these days. And what tends to happen is the quality of the hoses has got better and better as the years have gone on. They're lasting far more time-wise than they ever did previously. But what tends to happen is they get absolutely filthy. Overspray, contaminants, that sort of, you know, that general wear and tear breaks them down over time. So someone like me comes along and says, pop a sleeve over that, protect it, change it when you need to.
Yeah.
When it comes to air-fed masks, I go into a lot of busy shops. Lads all running the identical air-fed masks. They can colour code them to themselves, just like you can with sort of say you start a gun with a little ring clips around them. You can do it with your air-fed mask, with your hose on your air-fed.
So this is a sleeve that goes over the pipe.
Yes.
Is it disposable? Is it supposed to, or is it a, you know?
We aim for a 6 to 8 month lifespan out of it, but it all depends on, you know, throughput of the booth, cleanliness of the booth, depending on the job as well, you know. But the main purpose of this is to extend that lifespan of that hose far greater than it ever normally does, which can only be a good thing. You know, we all want products to last.
I just said at the start, wasn't it? Yeah, with the guns and so fantastic. Like it.
Stand X130, you'll see all that on.
Brilliant. And that's Mrs. Specky Painter will be showcasing that. Awesome. Well, I'm obviously going to come along and see you. And again, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I think how many weeks is it now? The 6th of June. It's a couple of weeks, is it?
3 weeks today.
3 weeks away, right? Well, that's
We'll be probably all sat now, absolutely feet hurting, heads aching, throat sore, waiting for day 2 to start.
I bet. Well, we've got, I think there is a body shop meeting at the Forest of Arden on the night before as well, which is a bit of a barbecue and a get together. So I think a few people I know are going to that, and then hopefully they're staying over and going to drop into Automechankia on I think it's the 6th, which would be the Monday. Is that or?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what they've done, Body Shop Magazine have got their barbecue launch party on the Monday. That is a real good event. We attended that last year. Do you know what? It's a real nice place to actually break the ice with a lot of distributors, a lot of product manufacturers that are going to be exhibiting. Put names to faces. You might know them online, you might not.
Yeah.
The Body Shop Magazine put a lot of effort into that last year, and it showed massively. And I've got no doubt in my mind it'll be the exact same again this year. It'll be a really successful.
It's a Monday, isn't it? So it's a Monday evening barbecue get together, and Tuesday's the first day. I keep saying it. I better get myself a ticket before I miss out, because I think that's going to be a good event, like you say. So a couple of great days, to be fair, for repairers. If we go and meet there and have a bit of a chat, and then we can try and meet up again, have a look around the show, and get together and have a chat. It could be a great couple of days. Again, thanks so much for coming on, telling us all about it. Somebody who I know has been there, and I think you've got the idea of how big it's going to be this year. So that's a real big help for us, especially as repairers, because a few people said it wasn't quite big enough last year. But again, brilliant. They've obviously taken that on the chin and said, right, now we're going to make it bigger. So I think it's going to be a cracking event, and it's for us locally. You can't beat the NEC, really, can you? It's a lovely place to go to.
So. It's a real incredible venue, and if you've never been to an exhibition before and you're a repairer, it's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of our show season, I guess you could say, as far as an event, especially in the UK. One thing I will say is, if you're in any doubt whatsoever that you can free up any time, whether it's worth you going, it's not if it's worth going, it's if you can afford not to go.
Not to go. Yeah, no, I like it. I agree with that as well. So, yeah, as I say, time now with learning about our industry is so important. So, yeah, fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Again, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's been great to talk to you again and find out what Specky Paint is all about. But obviously, we'll talk at the show anyhow, because I want some guns. I like to look at the cables. I'm all for saving money, especially in our industry. We need to. So, and good luck with the launch of your products and stuff. I hope that goes well. So, but we'll definitely catch up at the show. And thanks again for coming on, buddy. Really appreciate your time.
No problem whatsoever. And thank you so much for having me. It's been
no problem at all.
Great. Thank you.
Specky Painter, thanks very much. We'll see you soon. Take care, buddy.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye, mate. Well, that was Specky Painter. Again, thanks very much for coming on to the show. The Automechankia this 2023 looks like it's going to be great. Repairers, I'm calling out to you because we need to talk. I keep saying this every Tuesday. We need to really share information. I talk daily, weekly to people, and I don't know what it is about this industry, but for so long, I don't know whether repairers trust each other. I don't know whether we think we're competing with each other. It's beyond me. The reason Crash Clinic exists is because we need to talk to make this industry better for ourselves. We're business owners. We're in a very tough industry, and the industry is going to change more in the next 5 to 10 years than ever. So the Automechankia, very important for you to go find out how we can make savings. I'll be doing that anyway, having a bit of a, taking pen to paper, probably for one of the next shows, to bring what I find in the show that's fascinating. But there's lots of changes happening. We need to get together to talk. I can't wait to meet up with guys that I go live and talk about the industry, and I get lots of phone calls through the week. I love to meet some people there. Obviously, there's the Body Shop launch party the night before, which is going to be fantastic. So a great couple of days for our industry, and a great couple of days for us to get together and talk at both events, if I'm honest, because how is the industry since the ABP rates have come in? We talk about a capacity myth. Everyone is busy. I don't feel anyone should be, there are people who got too much work, but no one's competing for work. There's too much work about. There's rumors of, people are still going to go bust. There's rumors people are still struggling. Are these rumors real, or can we talk amongst ourselves to find out? I'm going to put a few more polls on again next week, just asking some questions. Obviously, I'm trying to get back up to speed where we left off last year when I lost my brother, God bless him. So I'm back. I'm trying to put some effort into it again. I need to hear from you guys, because you're the most important people, or we're the most important people in this industry, business owners trying to succeed in a very tough market. I've got some great stories coming out again next week about the total losses. They have insurers have blown my mind with total loss claims at the moment and what's happening with them. A couple of them I own, a couple of them belong to customers. I am absolutely shocked how they're treating people. So that's going to come out again, obviously. We've got Tim Kelly. He always puts a smile on my face. He sits there and he's had some great posts this week alone on LinkedIn. I'm trying to keep up with him all the time. He's great at the moment because he's doing so much. He's constantly fighting our corner and he hasn't got a repair center. So a great guy that, you know, we seem to have around us. That is, I think we're lucky to have. So Tim will be back on the show, trying to keep up to date with what Tim does. And Tim should be able to help body shops with problems. But we need to find out and dig out what the problems are. What problems should we be attacking? What problems should we be fixing or aiming to fix with insurers? How should we be fixed trying to put things right with excesses and labor rates? And, you know, I heard a couple of stories where people have I think it's Marcus study for one, have just said we're only paying this labor rate. And I mean, what a way to treat your customer. There's the payment, you pick up the rest of the bill. Phenomenal, really. But there you go. Is that legal? Can it be done? Should it be done? Can we challenge it? But unless we talk together, guys, we won't be challenging anything. So I can't wait to meet up with you guys on the the 5th and 6th of June. So I hope, you know, let's try and get as many people there. Let's try and make an event of it. Let's try. If you wanted to get together and talk, let's try and make those 2 days the time for us to come together and talk. Tim Kelly is just eating his dinner. He's always cooking around the time of the show, which is look at it. Normally when he comes on the show, he has to get his cooking out of the way so I can get him on here to have a chat. But again, no problem at all, Tim. You know, I love listening to you and I love what you're up to. It's fantastic. Never a dull moment with Tim. So guys and girls, let's try and make June a big month for us all. Let's try and meet. Really go out your way to try and do that. Then we meet at the show and we can discuss all about that as well. And I think it'll be fantastic. I'm going to be back anyway next week talking to you about, I will drop some polls out there for you guys to answer. And I have got some horrible updates on those total loss claims that I've been involved in that I think are just outrageous. And I've also got something I might bring onto the show next week where I have a podcast from solicitors. Again, I think I did one live and I shown the video and went over it. This one's a podcast where a different solicitor now is basically blaming credit hire companies for the inflation in claims. I have a different view on that. I'm pretty sure Tim Kelly has a big difference of opinion on that as well, because sometimes they need to look a little bit closer to home and who they use themselves for inflation on claims. So it's a really interesting podcast. I found it really interesting. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to, because either way, we're repairers, but we're still involved in what I call the fault accidents and non-fault accidents, and that tips over to credit hire, of course. So it's an interesting thing that I think us repairers again should understand. So I will be doing more on credit hire and all that side of things that we call fault and non-fault as repairers. So we'll be touching on that. So lots to cover. I'm trying to get the interest back into the show, trying to get the interest where we can all meet. So I will be here every Tuesday trying to bring you information that will help you. There is a product I was talking to somebody about last week. The week before, I was discussing another product that might help people finance parts and stuff. So I am working on some other things in the background that I think could be, you know, very good for you guys or all repairers. So, yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday. Anyone watching, joining in, thanks again. And please try to make, I've got to go and book my ticket because I'm pushing this and there won't be a ticket for me to go to the body shop show. So I best get onto that pretty quickly. I'm going to look forward to that. It'll be great fun. It'd be great to see you guys there as well. So, yeah, we'll see you soon. And we'll bring you some fantastic updates next week, which I'm going to look forward to sharing with you guys. Take care. Have a lovely weekend again. Weather's going to be nice. And so crack on, earn yourselves a load of money and go and have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week.